February 1944, Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. The hot water cascading over her shoulders made Helga Müller sob uncontrollably, her first genuine shower in nearly 2 years. After serving as a Wehrmacht auxiliary on the Eastern Front, subsisting on bucket baths with cold water, sometimes just snow melted over camp stoves, this simple act of hygiene represented an impossible luxury. The tiled shower room, with its gleaming porcelain fixtures and unlimited hot water, contradicted everything Nazi propaganda had prepared her for in American captivity. Across American detention facilities that winter, approximately 7,000 female German military auxiliaries, Nachrichtenhelferinnen, nurses and administrative staff, would confront a reality that fundamentally challenged their indoctrination. They discovered a nation where daily showering was standard, where clean towels were provided without question, where soap existed in varieties beyond imagination. These basic hygiene provisions, unavailable to most German civilians since 1941, systematically dismantled Nazi narratives more effectively than any propaganda film. The arithmetic of cleanliness was being written in hot water and soap, in clean uniforms and disinfected quarters, revealing an American abundance that rendered German deprivation not patriotic sacrifice, but unnecessary suffering. What began as shock at American hygiene standards would evolve into profound psychological reckoning. The women captured at Normandy and during the European advance of Allied forces had been promised American savagery by Goebbels' propaganda. Instead, within hours of processing at temporary European holding facilities, they encountered hot showers, delousing procedures with DDT powder, and medical examinations conducted with professional dignity. Military records reveal female German POWs received standard-issue toiletry kits containing items that had disappeared from German civilian shops by 1942, toothpaste in metal tubes, manufactured soap bars weighing 3 ounces each, washcloths, combs, and feminine hygiene products. The systematic provisioning of basic hygiene supplies to enemy personnel began immediately, though its psychological impact would only be understood later. A German Nachrichtenhelferin later testified to International Red Cross observers, "We expected degrading treatment as female prisoners. Instead, the Americans provided better washing facilities than our own military installations." This contradiction about American resources began our education. The transport ships carrying female POWs across the Atlantic in early 1944 provided intensive education in American standards. These vessels, with designated women's quarters featuring daily shower access with hot water, transported approximately 500 female prisoners monthly. Naval records confirmed that hygiene provisions aboard these ships included daily soap rations, clean towels, and access to laundry facilities. Most remarkably, documented accounts verify that female prisoners were provided with American-manufactured shampoo and conditioner products, items unavailable in Germany since early war rationing. The USS West Point's log from February 1944 records female German prisoners receiving orientation on modern plumbing facilities during Atlantic crossing. For women who hadn't seen functioning bathroom facilities with reliable hot water since before the war, these basic amenities aboard a moving vessel defied comprehension. When ships docked at ports like Norfolk and New York, German female POWs encountered an America that Nazi ideology had declared impossible. Female prisoners glimpsed civilian women in fashionable clean clothing, with styled hair and cosmetics, a stark contrast to European wartime austerity. Military procurement records from 1944 showed dedicated women's facilities at processing centres, with hot water available 16 hours daily, individual shower stalls with privacy curtains, and hygiene supplies distributed weekly rather than monthly, as in German facilities. The journey toward permanent internment camps revealed further contradictions. Unlike the crowded, unsanitary transports they'd experienced in Europe, German female auxiliaries travelled in clean railcars with functioning toilet facilities and regular stops for washing. The female prisoners discovered this wasn't special treatment, but standard American expectations for basic human dignity, a concept that would gradually erode their ideological foundations more effectively than any re-education program could achieve. The converted troop transport USS Edmund B. Alexander cut through Atlantic waves in March 1944, carrying 267 female German military auxiliaries toward internment in America. Below decks, Ingrid Weber, former radio operator with the 2nd Panzer Division, stared in disbelief at the shower schedule posted outside the women's quarters. Daily access between 0600–0800 hours. Back in Kharkiv, she had managed 1 bucket bath weekly, often using water collected from rain or melted snow. The posted schedule represented impossible luxury, hot water available by simply turning a handle every single day. American Women's Army Corps personnel supervised the female German prisoners, demonstrating shower facilities with patients typically reserved for children. Naval records confirm these transport vessels maintained dedicated female bathing facilities with water heated to 105-degree F, temperature controlled by mixing valves manufactured by American Standard Corporation, technology that surpassed anything in German military installations. Each female prisoner received weekly rations exceeding German military standards: 2 bath towels, 1 face cloth, 3 bars of soap, 1 facial, 2 bath, 1 tube of Colgate toothpaste, 1 toothbrush, and Breck shampoo in 2-ounce bottles. The ship's manifest documented regular medical inspections focusing on hygiene-related conditions. German female POWs arrived with alarming rates of skin infections, lice infestation, and gum disease. 21% showed signs of prolonged hygienic neglect compared to 2.3% of American female personnel. Ship's doctors administered sulfanilamide for infections, provided medicated shampoos for parasites, and documented dramatic improvement within the 2-week crossing. Female prisoners watched WAC personnel perform daily hygiene rituals, brushing teeth morning and night, washing faces with dedicated facial soap, applying deodorant and shampooing hair multiple times weekly. These mundane American routines represented unattainable luxury to women who had been using ash paste for tooth powder and harsh lye soap, when available, for all cleaning purposes since 1941. Most remarkable to the German women, American female personnel changed undergarments daily, a practice impossible under German rationing where civilians received 1 clothing coupon quarterly by 1944. When ships docked at Fort Hamilton, New York, processing facilities revealed further contrasts. German women encountered hot water washing machines, electric hair dryers, and sanitary napkins distributed without question. Military procurement records from spring 1944 confirmed dedicated processing areas for female prisoners with individual shower stalls, privacy screens, and female medical personnel conducting examinations. The camp supply officer's logs show regular deliveries of Tampax tampons, Kotex sanitary napkins, Johnson's baby powder, and Jergens lotion, items unavailable in Germany since early war rationing. The train journey to permanent internment camps continued this hygiene education. Converted Pullman cars featured functioning toilet facilities with running water. At scheduled stops, female prisoners accessed station washrooms, clean, well-supplied facilities that contradicted everything Nazi propaganda had prepared them for. Documented meal service featured not just American food abundance, but American cleanliness standards. Servers wearing gloves, dishes sanitized in electric dishwashers, drinking water purified through modern filtration. Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, primary housing facility for female German POWs, received approximately 1,900 women between March 1944 and August 1945. Upon arrival, prisoners entered processing barracks featuring multiple shower rooms with gleaming white tile, chrome fixtures manufactured by American Standard, and water heaters producing 500 gallons hourly. The shock of these facilities frequently overwhelmed new arrivals. Camp medical records document multiple instances of emotional breakdowns during initial showering, women overwhelmed not by mistreatment but by unexpected dignity. Military photographs preserved in National Archives Collection 239 FW show newly processed female German prisoners with wet hair, clean faces, and expressions of disorientation. Their European accommodation had featured communal washrooms with cold water available 2 hours daily. At Fort Oglethorpe, each barracks included multiple bathroom facilities with hot water available 18 hours daily. The arithmetic of American abundance versus German scarcity began its psychological work immediately, undermining Nazi claims of superior German engineering and efficiency more effectively than any counter-propaganda program could achieve. Daily life at Fort Oglethorpe structured itself around hygiene facilities that German women had previously experienced only in pre-war luxury hotels. Each barracks housed 40 women and featured bathroom facilities that contradicted their expectations. 4 shower stalls with adjustable pressure controls, 6 sinks with hot and cold running water, 4 toilet stalls with doors that locked, and 2 bathtubs for longer soaking. These amenities, standard in American military construction, represented unimaginable luxury to women who had survived Eastern Front conditions where washing often meant using helmets filled with snow melted over small fires. The shower rooms became sites of cultural education. American-manufactured ceramic tiles lined walls and floors, resistant to mildew and easily cleaned. Chrome fixtures by Kohler and American Standard delivered consistent water temperature through mixing valves. Drainage systems prevented standing water, while ventilation systems reduced humidity. These technical details, unremarkable to Americans, demonstrated industrial capacity that German women recognized as surpassing their homeland's capabilities. One prisoner noted in a censored letter home, their ordinary bathroom would be considered luxury in Berlin. Camp quartermaster records from summer 1944 document weekly hygiene supply distribution. 1 bar facial soap, Ivory, 2 bars bath soap, Lifebuoy, 1 tube toothpaste, Colgate or Pepsodent, 1 bottle shampoo, 2 Oz, 1 container talcum powder, 1 tube skin cream, plus feminine hygiene supplies as needed. German women who had subsisted on harsh military-issue soap containing sand for abrasive cleaning now experienced specialized products for different purposes. Most surprising to new arrivals, the products matched those used by American personnel and civilians, with no prisoner-grade substitutions. Water consumption statistics reveal the transformation. Camp engineering logs show average water usage of 75 gallons per prisoner daily, matching American civilian usage, compared to 12 gallons per person in German military facilities. Hot water accounted for 65% of usage, an impossibility in resource-strained German installations. The camp's water heating system, with 4 1,000-gallon capacity boilers, operated 24 hours daily, consuming 2.5 tons of coal daily in winter months. This allocation of resources for prisoner comfort contradicted everything Nazi ideology had taught about American priorities. Laundry facilities demonstrated further contrasts. The camp laundry operated industrial Bendix washing machines, using detergents rather than harsh soaps, processing approximately 5,000 pounds weekly. Prisoners received weekly clean sheets, towels, and uniforms. Camp regulations permitted hand-washing of personal items with dedicated sinks and clotheslines available. The concept of changing into clean clothing daily, standard American practice, initially struck German women as wasteful extravagance. By 1944, German civilians received monthly soap rations of 75 grams, approximately 1 bar, while American prisoners received 12 ounces weekly. Medical examinations documented physical transformation. Camp medical records show dramatic health improvements within weeks. Skin conditions cleared, respiratory infections decreased, dental health improved. Monthly medical reports documented weight gain averaging 8 pounds per prisoner within 3 months, improved complexion, and reduced incidence of minor illnesses. These physical changes carried psychological weight, demonstrating through bodily experience the falsity of Nazi claims about American conditions. The POW work program assigned many women to hospital and domestic roles, providing further education in American hygiene standards. Working in camp hospitals, German nurses observed American sterilization procedures, hand-washing protocols, and waste disposal methods far exceeding German military standards. In kitchens and mess halls, they encountered food handling regulations requiring hourly hand-washing, hair coverings, and glove usage. These practices, enforced even during wartime, contrasted sharply with deteriorating conditions they had experienced in German facilities. Red Cross inspection reports from December 1944 describe Fort Oglethorpe's facilities as meeting or exceeding standards for American military personnel. International observers noted particularly that female prisoners appear well adjusted to American hygiene standards and express appreciation for bathroom facilities. The transformation happened without formal instruction, simply through daily experience of clean, abundant water, specialized hygiene products, and facilities designed for human dignity rather than mere survival. Personal testimonials emerged in censored letters home. One Nachrichtenhelferin wrote, "I wash my hair twice weekly now. The soap makes it shine in ways I'd forgotten possible." Another described her first bubble bath since 1939. "I cried seeing something so frivolous as bubbles. How can they spare resources for bubbles during war?" These intimate experiences of cleanliness carried more persuasive power than any counter-propaganda program, revealing through sensory experience that American abundance extended even to enemies. The psychological transformation began with mirrors. Camp Aliceville's female section installed full-length mirrors in bathroom facilities. Ordinary American fixtures that triggered extraordinary responses. Greta Hoffmann, former Wehrmacht Signals Auxiliary, documented her reaction in a journal later acquired by Army intelligence. "I saw myself clearly for the first time in 3 years. The woman in clean clothing, with clean hair and skin, looked like a stranger. I realized I had forgotten myself." This rediscovery of individual identity through hygiene occurred repeatedly across women's facilities. Camp psychologists documented 201 cases of emotional breakdown triggered specifically by hygiene-related experiences. Women overwhelmed not by cruelty, but by the restoration of dignity they had been conditioned to abandon. Military intelligence interviews conducted in summer 1944 revealed the ideological implications. Female prisoners consistently identified bathroom facilities as evidence contradicting Nazi propaganda. One Nachrichtenhelferin told interviewers, "We were taught Americans were wasteful barbarians who would treat us as subhumans. Instead, they provide conditions better than our officers enjoyed. If they lied about this, what else was untrue?" The contrast between expectations and experience created cognitive dissonance that opened pathways for deeper ideological questioning. Camp commanders recognized this potential before formal re-education programs began, noting in monthly reports that access to hygiene facilities accomplishes naturally what indoctrination attempts artificially. Medical records from 1944-45 document measurable psychological improvements correlating with hygiene restoration. Depression diagnoses decreased 47% within 3 months of internment. Anxiety disorders reduced by 51% in the same period. Most notably, psychological evaluations showed 73% of women displaying increased self-worth measurements on standardized assessments after 6 months. The simple act of feeling clean, of controlling one's bodily presentation, restored autonomy that military service and propaganda had systematically eroded. As one camp psychiatrist noted, "We are witnessing the reconstruction of individual identity through basic hygiene." International Red Cross observers documented this transformation in quarterly reports. The October 1944 inspection noted, "Female German prisoners appear remarkably well adjusted compared to male counterparts. They have embraced American hygiene standards with enthusiasm and speak openly about the contrast with prior conditions." This gender difference became statistically significant. Female prisoners showed 62% higher rates of positive adjustment than males by early 1945, a finding that contradicted Nazi gender ideology, claiming women's natural resilience to primitive conditions. The introduction to American beauty standards accelerated this transformation. PX stores at women's facilities stocked items unimaginable in wartime Germany: bobby pins, hair rollers, face powder, cold cream, and lipstick. Army regulations initially restricted cosmetics access, but by late 1944, female prisoners could purchase basic beauty products with work credits. The psychological effect was profound. Women who had been reduced to utilitarian military functions reclaimed feminine identity through these products. A former nurse recorded her reaction to applying lipstick. "This small tube contains more freedom than any speech about democracy." Cultural clashes revealed deeper ideological differences. German women, trained in wartime austerity, initially viewed American attention to appearance as frivolous. A German Red Cross nurse complained in early interviews, "Americans waste time on appearance while there's a war." 6 months later, the same woman requested hair curlers, explaining, "I understand now this isn't waste, it's respect for oneself regardless of circumstances." This evolution from austerity to self-care undermined Nazi principles of sacrifice for collective over individual dignity. The re-education programs formally implemented in spring 1945 built upon this psychological groundwork. Official program records show unusually high receptivity among female prisoners, 87% voluntary participation compared to 43% among males. Instructors noted that women frequently referenced hygiene conditions when explaining their willingness to reconsider Nazi principles. One instructor reported, "They say if Germany was wrong about American barbarism, perhaps it was wrong about other matters." The path from shower rooms to classroom discussions followed clear psychological progression, concrete experience undermining abstract ideology. By Victory in Europe Day, May 1945, documented cases of German female prisoners defending American practices to new arrivals became common. Camp intelligence officers recorded conversations where veteran prisoners explained to recent captures, "The Americans treat us with dignity you cannot imagine. They believe cleanliness is not luxury but necessity." These women became informal ambassadors for American values, not through indoctrination, but through transformed bodily experience. Their testimony carried authenticity precisely because it came through sensory reality rather than propaganda claims. The feeling of hot water, the scent of soap, the sensation of clean clothing against skin communicated more effectively than any lecture could achieve. Repatriation began in autumn 1946 for the German women who had experienced American hygiene standards for over 2 years. Irma Schultz, former Luftwaffe auxiliary, prepared to leave Camp Shanks, New York, packing a curious collection: 3 bars of ivory soap, a tube of Colgate toothpaste, a bottle of Halo shampoo, and a jar of Pond's cold cream, treasures more valuable than currency for what awaited in Germany. Departing prisoners received standard Red Cross packages containing items selected based on known shortages: soap, toothpaste, razor blades, combs, and vitamin supplements. These packages acknowledged the stark contrast between American abundance and European scarcity that returning women would confront. The ships carrying female auxiliaries back to Europe reversed their transformational journey. The USS LaGuardia's log notes female Germans spending hours in onboard showers before arrival, as if storing up cleanliness. Military observers recorded conversations where women expressed dread, not of political consequences, but of returning to cold water bathing and soap shortages. One Nachrichtenhelferin told her American escort, "I fear living without bathroom privacy more than denazification courts." This reprioritization of basic dignities over ideology represented complete inversion of Nazi values that had elevated collective sacrifice above individual needs. Bremen Harbor in winter 1946 delivered the first shock. American processing officers documented reactions as women encountered a devastated Germany where basic infrastructure, water systems, sewage treatment, electrical supply remained severely damaged. Hamburg's water system operated at 43% capacity, with purification chemicals strictly rationed. Berlin apartments averaged 3.2 hours of running water daily, often without heating capabilities. Municipal bathhouses, pre-war fixtures of German urban life, remained closed due to coal shortages for water heating. The contrast with American camps, where hot water flowed 18 hours daily without restriction, created immediate psychological distress. Statistical disparities reinforce this shock. American soap production in 1946 reached approximately £2.5 billion annually, £83 per American citizen. German production that same year struggled to reach £90 million, less than £2 per German. American toothpaste production by Colgate-Palmolive alone exceeded Germany's total personal hygiene manufacturing capacity. Johnson & Johnson produced more feminine hygiene products monthly than Germany manufactured annually. These numbers transformed from abstract statistics to lived experience as women confronted empty store shelves and black market prices for basic items they had received freely in captivity. Documented cases of former prisoners attempting to maintain American hygiene standards revealed ingenuity born of deprivation. Helga Kraus, who had worked in Camp Forest Hospital, constructed a shower system using salvaged military jerry cans, copper tubing from artillery shells, and a wood-burning water heater. Her invention spread through her Hamburg neighborhood, with 16 similar systems built within months. In Frankfurt, a group of former Nachrichtenhelferinnen established a cooperative bathhouse using American designs they had memorized, charging nominal fees for hot water access. Military government reports noted that women with POW experience led community hygiene initiatives at rates 3 times higher than other Germans. The cultural impact of these efforts extended beyond practicalities. Former prisoners shared American hygiene concepts with families and communities through improvised classes on proper hand washing, dental care, and feminine hygiene. A US occupation health officer in Munich reported, "Former female POWs serve as unofficial public health educators, demonstrating techniques learned in American captivity. Their detailed knowledge of bathroom design, water heating systems, and sanitation practices, gained through daily camp experience, provided valuable expertise during reconstruction efforts, where German technical knowledge had been disrupted by war casualties." American occupation authorities recognized this unexpected resource. By 1947, military government health programs actively recruited former female prisoners for public health initiatives. Records show 201 former auxiliaries employed in reconstruction projects, specifically targeting hygiene infrastructure. Their bilingual abilities combined with technical knowledge gained in American camps made them effective intermediaries between occupation engineers and German contractors. These women, once Nazi auxiliary personnel, became agents of American-style modernization, translating between cultures not just linguistically but technically, explaining American bathroom standards to German plumbers accustomed to pre-war designs. The Office of Military Government, United States, OMGUS, surveys conducted in 1947-48 revealed former female prisoners consistently ranked bathroom improvements as higher reconstruction priorities than male respondents, who typically prioritized transportation and industrial rebuilding. This gendered difference in reconstruction vision would influence early West German development, with American-style bathroom facilities becoming symbols of modernization and recovery. The women who had experienced American hygiene standards became advocates for incorporating these designs into post-war reconstruction, creating physical infrastructure that would influence German cultural development for decades to follow, long after the emotional memory of captivity had faded. The transformation of German bathroom culture accelerated through the 1950s, influenced by women who had experienced American standards firsthand. By 1955, West German bathroom fixture production had increased 428% from immediate post-war levels. Companies like Villeroy & Boch and Grohe incorporated American design elements, mixing valves for consistent water temperature, shower systems with adjustable pressure controls, ceramic fixtures resistant to staining. The aesthetic shifted from pre-war German institutional styling toward American residential comfort. This industrial shift represented more than economic recovery. It embodied changed expectations about daily life that former prisoners had advocated for during Reconstruction. Statistical evidence documented this revolution in private space. In 1939, only 31% of German urban dwellings contained private bathrooms with hot water. By 1960, that figure reached 74% in West Germany, a transformation unprecedented in European housing development. The American model of democratic access to hygiene, experienced by German women in POW camps, became architectural reality. Unlike pre-war Germany, where bathroom luxury correlated strictly with social class, post-war development emphasized widespread access to modern facilities regardless of economic status. Housing projects incorporated American-style bathrooms, even in modest apartments, reflecting the principle that basic hygiene represented a right rather than privilege. Henkel Corporation's market research from 1957 revealed former female prisoners influenced consumer product development beyond architecture. The company's internal documents note, "Women with American internment experience consistently request specialized products for different hygiene purposes rather than traditional all-purpose German soap." This consumer pressure drove product diversification. Facial cleaners separate from body soap, specialized shampoos, dedicated toothpaste rather than general cleaning powder. By 1960, West German hygiene product manufacturing had diversified into 157 specialized categories from 23 in 1939. American-style product specialization, once experienced as prisoner abundance, became standard market expectation. Former Nachrichtenhelferin Ilse Wagner, interviewed for a 1962 documentary on German economic recovery, explained this transformation. "In American camps, we had different soaps for face, hands, body, and clothes. I thought it wasteful luxury then. Now I understand. Specialized tools for specialized purposes represent efficiency, not waste. This lesson applies beyond bathrooms." Her observation captured the psychological transition from Nazi-era austerity ideology toward appreciation for consumer choice that characterized West German economic development. The economic miracle extended beyond industrial production to everyday experience of personal care. Academic research conducted in the 1970s confirmed hygiene experiences as factors in ideological transformation. Dr. Konrad Jarausch's longitudinal study of former German military personnel found women with American internment experience showed statistically significant differences in democratic values correlation. His analysis concluded, female prisoners who experienced American hygiene standards demonstrated 67% higher rates of democratic value adoption than control groups. The physical experience of dignity through daily bathing appears more persuasive than abstract political re-education. This finding challenged conventional understanding of denazification, suggesting embodied experience proved more transformative than intellectual programming. Former prisoners frequently identified shower access as their most vivid American memory decades later. In a 1983 oral history project, Helena Schmidt recalled, 40 years later, I still remember my first American shower. Hot water as long as I wanted, privacy, soap that smelled like flowers. That moment destroyed everything Goebbels claimed about Americans. Not propaganda films, not lectures, just clean water and dignity. Another woman described showering as baptism into different values, the religion of individual worth. These testimonials, collected across decades, consistently emphasized hygiene access as transformative beyond material comfort, representing philosophical recognition of human dignity as fundamental right. The legacy continued through generations. Daughters and granddaughters of former prisoners inherited not just hygiene practices, but underlying values about dignity, privacy, and self-determination. Architectural historian Werner Dürth documented this transmission in his 1992 study of German domestic space. Bathroom design reveals intergenerational values. Families of former female internees consistently prioritize bathroom investment, viewing it as essential infrastructure rather than luxury. This prioritization reflected deeper values transmission, democratic access to well-being, individual dignity through personal care, rejection of austerity as virtue. The philosophical implications extended beyond bathrooms. The women who broke down crying in American showers experienced tactile refutation of totalitarian ideology, the sensation of abundant hot water demonstrating through physical experience that scarcity resulted from political choice rather than natural necessity. Their tears represented recognition that deprivation served ideological rather than practical purposes, a realization that undermined Nazi martyrdom mythology. Through simple provision of hot water and soap, American authorities achieved what theoretical arguments couldn't, demonstrating that dignity could be democratized rather than rationed. German comfort women who experienced breakdown in American showers found not weakness but clarity, recognition that human dignity should be accessible rather than earned through sacrifice. Their transformation from Nazi auxiliaries to advocates for democratic hygiene represented German society's broader journey from fascism toward democratic values. The story reminds us that sometimes profound ideological change begins with the most intimate experiences, the simple, transformative dignity of standing clean beneath hot water after years of unnecessary deprivation.